What's up, everyone? It is another episode of Chase for the Checkers. I'm your host, Matty NASCAR. This week we're going to be talking about the road course on the base at San Diego. I am super excited for this. I know it's a road course, and everybody's probably thinking, everybody's saying, like, how much is SVG going to win by? Listen, I don't care. It's cool. It's cool that NASCAR is doing this, and you can kick rocks if you don't like it. They're trying something new. America, baby. Heck yeah. I'm all in on that. Look, I'm all about it. It's going to be really cool. I think the racing can honestly have a lot of drama, too, just by looking at the track and what people have said. Some really tight spots there. I think it can be interesting. I'm not saying that SVG is going to lose. I think he's still going to win. But, and we'll get into that a little bit more. But I'm pretty excited about it. Honestly, listen, it's Father's Day weekend. I'm going to soak it up. I'm going to have some golf on, watch some U.S. Open. I'm going to watch some NASCAR. I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to leave my chair. I'm not going to leave my chair. It's going to be great. I hope that if you're a dad, I hope you get that luxury as well. That's my wish for you. But let's talk a little bit. Let's review last week at Pocono. We had Denny Hamlin. Duh. Because he's going to just keep winning. Except for these next 2 weeks. He's probably not going to win these next 2 weeks. But we had Denny Hamlin. Then we had the two legacy cars. We had them both top 10. Had Eric Jones at 270. And then John Hunter Nemechek had him at plus 1,000 for a top 10. So that was a really big hit. But we're going to talk about something else first. We're going to do another review. This is a new review. Okay? I jumped on the bandwagon. I did it. I went and got it. I went and got this. The Bubba Wallace Full Throttle Mill, I think is what it's called. The bag is super cool. I'm not a huge, Bubba's not my number one guy or anything. I did, where's it at? Got the car. I had to get the car. It's a cool car. Got the car. Can you see right there? Bam. So I did get the car. It's very nice. It doesn't look cheap or anything like that. Made by it's a Lionel car. Here's the thing with Hardee's. It was not great. Now listen, Hardee's, I hope you keep doing this. It's very cool that you are offering this. I think it's gonna go a long way for kids, for new, just getting eyes on the sport. I hope that more restaurants and things do this. And really, what happened? My experience wasn't Hardee's fault. The chicken was fine. Fries were fine. There's a lot of construction at my Hardee's. There's just one lane, and I had to drive around for 5 minutes to try to get in. Once I did get in, the young lady that was working there was clearly hated everything. Hated absolutely everything. That didn't look like anybody was working. I'm sure nobody had been there because of the construction, and it's so hard to get in and out. So I don't know why she was upset. I don't know. I'm not going to even claim to know. But going to get on my old man stuff real quick. If you're going to work in that, in a restaurant, you need to be a little bit happier, I think. Or at least try to say hi to a customer. And then I didn't get any sauce. Advertises a sauce. I didn't get my sauce. I ordered 2 sauces. Didn't get either one. So that was a bummer. Hardee's. Cool promo. But not a great experience. But anyways, I'm excited about this. I'm going to put this somewhere. I don't really know where yet. Honestly, what would be cool, I'd love for them to do this, but with the Hardee's kind of throwback one that they had. I think that'd be really cool. And they could do, I don't know if Hardee's has a throwback meal or anything, but that'd be pretty cool. We're gonna put that right there. Anyways, so that's my food review. Yeah, you're getting a food review along with this NASCAR betting show. I'm multi-talented, okay? And you can trust me. If you haven't seen, you can trust me that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to food. But enough about that. Let's jump in. Not a lot for this week. The numbers that SVG came out at, disgusting. Just disgusting. Is it warranted? Probably, because he's probably going to put a butt whooping on everybody. But I'm not laying coin. I think the best he was at was plus or minus 140. I'm not doing that. I can't. So I don't think I'm going to bet anybody else to win. either. I just don't think anybody else will. Like I said, I'm not saying that they're wrong about him being like that big of a favorite. I'm just not going to do that because a lot can happen, especially at a new track. But I'm not going to do it. So I am doing a lot of top 5s and top 10s. I do top 5s normally when it comes to these road courses just because usually it is SVG. So let's jump into that. Again, not a lot, but I got some that I really like and got some good numbers here. So let's start with some top 10s. I got 2 top 10s that I like. First one is Chase Elliott. For a top 10, I got him at plus 110 on FanDuel. Now, Elliott hasn't been as great as he used to be on these road courses. In fact, looking at this heat chart stat sheet from Ryan at iFantasy Race, check him out. This is going back to COTA 2025. Chase Elliott is 15th overall in average speed rank. And in the 2 tracks this year, COTA 26 and Watkins Glen 26, he had a 4th and then a 26th average speed rank. So not great. But when we look at... Oh, I'm missing a paper. Oh, no. The devil. Bear with me. When we look at the 2 races this year, Elliott has a 7th. And he is not in the top 15 for Watkins Glen. But this is just for a top 10. So I like him there. Now here's where it kind of caught my eye though. So for this race, I am getting the most recent road courses. So Watkins Glen and COTA of this year, like I said. But I'm also looking at the first Chicago race and the first race that we had at Mexico City last year. And in those races, Chase Elliott finished 3rd in both. So that tells me he's a guy who relies on his just pure road course abilities. And at these new tracks, he can get it done. So I like Chase Elliott to get a top 10 at plus 110. I like that a lot. And we're going to jump ahead a little bit. Almost make this kind of like a prop. I'm not parlaying it or anything like that. But we are doing a Chase Elliott kind of ladder. I also have Chase Elliott for a top 5, which is at plus 360 on FanDuel, and it's for a lot of the same reasons. I know here recently maybe hasn't been as good, but just looking at that 2 third-place finishes in those first races at Chicago and Mexico, I just really like that. He's a really good road course racer still. Hendrick seems to be picking it up a little bit. So at that number, I really like that for a top 5. Plus, I think there is going to be carnage, and he's a smart racer. Tends to stay out of trouble, so I like that number a lot. But let's go to the other top 10 pick that I have, and that is the Dinger, AJ Allmendinger, top 10 at plus 125 on FanDuel. Now, looking back at this year's races, COTA and Watkins Glen, like I said, AJ Allmendinger has a 9th at COTA, and then a 7th at Watkins Glen, so 2 top 10s and 2 road courses this year. He's 10th overall in average speed rank since COTA of 2025. And then in the first races, he has a 13th at Mexico. Looks like at Chicago, he was not in the top 15. So the first, kind of the opposite of Chase Elliott here. He's done well this year. We know he's a road course guy. So, again, if he's maybe not as fast as what we have come to see him at road courses, because he's had some that he just doesn't have it as much. I think with that, carnage that could happen, he could sneak up there. Plus, another driver who usually will fill a top 10, top 5 spot is Christopher Bell. I'm not confident with that, with him to do that with his wrist. He's probably going to get out of the car is what I would imagine. Probably have Britt Cruz in there. Now, could Britt Cruz maybe go on a run, get a top 10? Sure. But that's a rookie, and, somebody's never drove a Cup car. I wouldn't put my money there. So, I like AJ Allmendinger, a road course ringer at plus money, at plus 125. I like that one a lot. Moving on to top fives, like I said, I do have Chase Elliott. Already I said that. Next guy I have is Tyler Reddick at plus 120 on DraftKings. Tyler Reddick is the only other guy who has won a road course race this year. If you remember, he won COTA. He also finished 5th at Watkins Glen. He's got the 9th overall average speed ranking on road courses since COTA in 2025. And at the first Chicago race and the first Mexico race, this is where he doesn't show up on the list, but I still just think the speed that Toyota has, as good as he's been, for him to be a top 5, I think is still a really good bet. So Tyler Reddick at plus 120. The next guy that I have, another fast Toyota, is Ty Gibbs at plus 210 on DraftKings. Now, going back again to these same stats. I know I keep hammering them, but these are what I'm using. Ty Gibbs at the first Chicago race was 9th. At the first Mexico race, he was 11th. But if you remember, he had a very fast car. Definitely was up there to be a contender. I don't remember if it was like a strategy or he just kind of ran the tires off too fast or what it was. Something happened, but definitely a faster car than what that average, or not that average, but that finish shows. In fact, in the average speed rankings since COTA 2025 and then all the other road courses up to now, he has an average or an overall average of 5th place, best speed rank. And in the last 2 races, he's been 5th and 6th. So I really, really like him for a top 5. In COTA, he finished 4th. At Watkins Glen, he finished 3rd. So he's just had the speed this year so far at these tracks. He's more confident going in. I don't think he's going to make maybe some of those young driver mistakes that we might have seen from him before in the past. So I like that number for Ty Gibbs at plus 210. Next guy that I like is Michael McDowell at plus 200 for a, I think I said Ty Gibbs top 10. I meant Ty Gibbs top 5. But Michael McDowell also top 5 at plus 200. This is another guy that so far this year has had 2 top 5s to his name. So 2 for 2 on the road courses for being top 5. He's got a 5th place at COTA and a 2nd place at Watkins Glen. He's 4th overall in the average speed ranking at the road courses since 2025. And at the first 2, the last first 2 road course races. So that Chicago and Mexico one. He's got a 7th and he's got a 5th. So he's the first driver that topped the list for all of it. I think this is a good chance for him to maybe use some crazy strategy, do something to get him a good finish to potentially go for a win. He would almost be a long shot for me for a win just because of that. I'm still probably not going to do that, but I really do like him for a top 5 at plus 200, and that was on FanDuel. Next guy that I have, the last guy that I have is Chase Briscoe in that 19 car at plus 380 on DraftKings. This one is my long shot, really, even though it is not a huge long shot compared to some of the NASCAR picks that we've done before. But with only doing a couple top 10s and like a handful of top 5s, this is my longest shot right here, and that's Chase Briscoe top 5 plus 380 on DraftKings. Going back to the first Chicago race, he was not really anywhere to be seen. In the first Mexico race, so this was when he was with the Gibbs team now, he did finish 7th. This year so far, he has a, COTA, he finished like dead last, because remember, that's when he started his bad luck. But at Watkins Glen, he finished 4th. So now that he is starting to find some speed, starting to put together some good finishes, he has started to turn it around a little bit. Chase Briscoe has the 3rd overall average speed ranking at road courses since COTA in 2025, which honestly kind of shocked me. I know he's good, but he's just not one of the top guys that you talk about. So for him to be that consistently good is really surprising to me to see him at this number for a Joe Gibbs car, for a guy who's been that fast at all these road courses. I really like this number for him to get a top 5. He's another one who I think is just going to be smart. We'll get a good finish out of it. That's just kind of what they do. So, yeah, those are my picks. Like I said, not a lot. If I do end up picking a winner, it won't be a lot that I throw on there. But I will put it on X. I will make sure that everybody knows about it. But I just don't see it. To be honest, I don't want to take a week off. But with the Open, I do like to gamble on the majors as well. Especially because I will definitely be watching that as well and keeping an eye on that this weekend. So just spread a little bit thin. But honestly, even if it wasn't for the golf, I probably wouldn't be doing winners or anything anyways, just because I do think it's going to be SVG. And yeah, so I just don't want to waste money on that. Those are my picks. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with these picks? Do you have somebody that you're eyeing for a top 10 or a top 5? You got, maybe some. I don't have any props this week. You got a prop that you like? I was looking for one. So maybe if you have a prop that you want to throw in the comments, maybe I will ride your bet. Do you have a guy that maybe you think is going to surprise us all and take down SVG? Love to hear what you guys think. Thanks for following. Thanks for sharing. If you don't, please do follow, like, subscribe, share, all of that great stuff. If you are a dad, have a great Father's Day this weekend. Hope it's a good one. Okay? Dads deserve it as well, unless you're a bad dad. If you're a bad dad, you stink. Okay? Yeah, I said it. So, I'm Matty NASCAR. This is Chase for the Checkers. We'll see you next time.